Hi, I'm Marty Cohn, and welcome to episode 7 of Rotary Cares, a monthly show that tells you everything you want to know about Rotary International and more. Rotary is a global network of 1.2 million neighbors, friends, leaders, and problem solvers that come together to make positive, lasting change in communities locally and worldwide. Established over 110 years ago, Rotary now has 35,000 clubs all over the world. Rotary's motto is service above self, and Rotarians adhere to a 4-way test, an ethical guide for Rotarians to use not only in their personal lives, but also in their professional relationships. The test has been translated in over 100 languages. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? In Brattleboro, we have 2 Rotary clubs. We have a club that meets on Thursdays for lunch, the Brattleboro Rotary Club, and we also have the Brattleboro Sunrise Club that meets for breakfast on Wednesdays at the American Legion in Brattleboro. Today, we will be discussing local scholarships. Our guests are Brattleboro Rotary Club Scholarship Chair, John Mabie, and Brattleboro Sunrise Rotary Club Chair of their scholarships, Toni Ciampaglione. Welcome, John.
Morning. Good to see you, Marty.
Okay. So first off, just to set the stage, how long have you been involved with Rotary?
I joined about 23 years ago. I wanted to be involved in the community in a more meaningful way. It's a great service organization, and I had had a number of experiences in my own life through scouting and being a big brother that sort of led me to want to be involved more in service projects.
Fantastic. And then you became chair of the scholarship committee?
I've been doing that for probably 18 or 19 years now. I gravitated to it. I enjoyed it. It was a way to read about interesting kids in the community who were furthering their education. It got me out to many of the school ceremonies when awards were given out. So it was a way to plug into education and advancement for young people.
So at the Brattleboro Rotary Club, if someone makes a donation for scholarships, that's not tax deductible. So someone had the idea of creating a foundation, the Gateway Foundation.
Yes.
How did that come about?
So it was founded by Rotary Club members in 1986. And we still have in our club a variety of founders who were Rotarians at the time. Dart Everett, Phil Steckler, Art Greenbaum, who now lives up north, Dave Neumeister, Greg Warden. So we had a number of people back then who are still with us over 30 years later who had the idea to set this up. We have a fund that has accumulated contributions over the years, and that's the source of money that we have to give out. Certainly we're very active in terms of fundraising from individual members, from local organizations. VY has contributed in the past. Currently, our Christmas tree sales are our ongoing club effort to fund Gateway each year. So now our Christmas tree sales up on Putney Road, all the net proceeds of that go into our fund, and that's usually several $1,000s per year. So
that's fantastic. So, Gateway 1986?
86.
1986.
Yes.
So, how many scholarships do you think have been given out?
So I could have counted, but I didn't, from the year 2000 to the present.
Okay.
But if you look at the full scope of it, it's probably 200.
Wow.
Roughly 200.
200.
Yep.
That and what are we talking about? How much do the folks get?
So for years, the Gateway, really for about 10 years, from 2000 to about 2010, we said we're giving out $24,000 a year, regardless of what we had in our fund. More recently, we decided to be perhaps better fiscal managers, so now we have sort of a formula that tells us how much to give out. So historically, it's been between $15,000 and $25,000 that we give out each year. Some years we give to 6 students, some years we give to 8 students. So we don't have a guideline that says it has to be so many. We've tried to make the decision to have them be meaningful scholarships. So rather than give a lot of $250 or $500 awards, we've wanted to try to be in the $2,500 to $3,000 range, so it's more substantial for the recipient.
Fantastic. Now, who is eligible for these scholarship grants?
So the schools that we draw from for our spring, senior graduating class are Hinsdale, Leland and Gray, and Brattleboro Union High School. Originally, we included Twin Valley, but a Rotary Club formed in that area, and they took that over. We also used to give occasionally scholarships to Austin students, but that school is no longer operating here. So it's the 3 local high schools. We get applications. We're now pending applications for this year. They're due in May. And we look at 3 things. We've had the same criteria for all these years.
Okay.
It's academic achievement, financial need, and community service. We rate those 3 things equally. And we have a committee of Rotarians who review the applications. We usually get 25 to 30 applications, and we do our best to weigh out those 3 factors evenly for the kids.
Now, how do the kids get the applications?
So there's 2 ways. We've sent out packets to all the school guidance counselors at those 3 schools. We follow up with them to make sure they have it and the applications are in the works. We also have the material up on the Rotary Club website, thanks to you, Marty, our webmaster. And and I occasionally get calls, or other Rotarians may tell a student, get in touch with John Mabie. So if they contact me at my local law office here in town, I can get it to them as well.
So once they go, the criteria that you mentioned, you go through some kind of a rating scale. When the kids are going to be getting how do they get their scholarships?
So we like to have it be a surprise. So at the graduation ceremony for the various schools, and I guess for Leland and Gray, I think it's right at the graduation ceremony. For Brattleboro, they have an awards night 1 or 2 nights before the graduation ceremony. But we make the selection. We don't notify the students right away. We notify the school principals and the presenters. Sometimes we have Rotary people presenting the awards. Sometimes Ron Staley or Frank Rucker, somebody in the school system, will help. And then it's announced either at the graduation or the award ceremony.
Wow, okay. Now, there is no restriction in terms of they're a graduate of the high school. Is there any restriction in terms of can they go to out-of-state schools?
Yes, they can go to the college of their choice.
Wow.
And if you look at of this roughly 200 awards, occasionally we'll see the same schools, but we've probably helped kids go to at least 100 different schools, colleges.
That is fantastic. Now, we had a very dear member of the Brattleboro Rotary Club and a dear friend and law partner of yours, Jesse Coram. And Gateway started the Jesse Coram Scholarship. That was 4 years ago. What's that about?
So this was an additional award, apart from the spring graduating senior type awards we give out, to a student at CCV who was going through the medical assisting program. And this is a program CCV developed in coordination with Brattleboro Memorial Hospital to help local people interested in that field get the skill and training so then they could hopefully get jobs at BMH. And so each year in the fall, again, thanks to your help, we contact the school, we solicit our applications, we usually make the decisions on the CCV scholarship right around the end of the year, early January, and then we present that award typically in January or February. So we've done that recently this year.
Now, I just came from a meeting with CCV folks. They were talking about the scholarship. And what's exciting is the concept was to provide a scholarship to someone here in Windham County who would then stay in Windham County. And all 4 of our scholarship winners have jobs here in Windham County.
Yeah, most of our graduating seniors are going on to college elsewhere, and I think this was in part an effort to help the hospital, to help CCV, but have a sense that we're contributing into the local economy and helping to build the labor force here. The health field is burgeoning, as we all know, and it's nice to have local folks be able to get those jobs.
So the Jesse Coram Scholarship, people can make a donation to honor Jesse.
Yes.
Are there other named scholarships?
Yeah, so over the years we have, well, including the Jesse Coram Scholarship, we have 4 other named scholarships. Senator Gannett, who was actually a founding member of our Rotary Club in right around 1950, we have an award named for him. Willie Stockwell, who was the son of Don Stockwell, another founder of our Rotary Club, who died tragically and early in his life. So we have one for Willie Stockwell. We have one for Justin Holden, a community member. And we have one for Bruce Campbell, former town manager, longtime, I guess he was also police chief, and also a longtime Rotarian.
Wow, that's great. So people can make a donation in honor of those folks.
I mean, essentially the money goes into our overall fund,
Right.
but we occasionally, when Jesse passed, sadly, a few years ago, we had a number of contributions. Jack Burgess, another founder of Gateway and a longtime Rotarian who had been Lieutenant Governor of Vermont, when he passed, he asked that donations be made to Gateway, and that was actually a good fundraising year for us. We got a number of donations after Jack Burgess passed.
So in terms of the fundraising, you mentioned, so one way is by people writing a check and sending it in. The Christmas tree sales is another one.
Yeah, I think the club devoted Christmas tree sales proceeds to scholarships 4 or 5 years ago. They used to just make a cash donation out of club monies, and the leadership decided let's use the Christmas tree sales for that purpose. And again, we've done some solicitation, there was a VY contribution. Also, the Rotary Golf Tournament every year is one of the bigger fundraising activities for the Rotary Club, and typically the Golf Club Committee will designate a purpose. I think they helped with the emergency department at the hospital, and they have on occasion also decided to give money to Gateway. Yes.
Great, fantastic. So, so now is the time for kids to apply.
Yes.
The applications are on our website, or they can contact you. Last question for you. What's the best thing for you about being a Rotarian?
I love the camaraderie. I like the sense of community service. There's a lot of local activity that we do in terms of labor and manpower, but we also have a tradition of international service. Pure Water for the World, trying to help support the end of polio. So I think it's an amazing blend of great people, local activity where you can provide boots on the ground service to the local community, and then also have a sense you're contributing to the larger Rotary good.
Well, John, thanks so much for taking the time to being on the show, and also for all you're doing with the scholarship fund. We'll be right back with our guest Toni Ciampaglione, but first this brief message from Rotary International. We'll be right back.
We've been here before, fighting the problems that fight back, but we can shift the status quo because we see opportunities where others see obstacles. We're change makers and problem solvers, uniting over 1 million minds to address complex issues facing communities around the world, including yours. With passion and purpose, we've led the efforts to put an end to polio. Now eradication isn't just possible, it's plausible. Every day we're investing in a new generation of leaders so we can continue to provide access to clean water, tackle global health concerns, support education, and build the foundations of peace across borders. We're working together as partners and professionals while making friendships that last a lifetime. We're Rotary, and there's no limit to what we can do.
Hi, welcome back to Rotary Cares, the monthly show that answers every possible question you could have about Rotary International. Our guest is Toni Ciampaglione, the scholarship chair of Brattleboro Sunrise Rotary Club. Welcome, Toni.
Thank you, Marty.
Okay, so first question, how long have you been involved in Rotary?
I joined Rotary in the year 2000, so it's been 18 years.
Whoa, okay. And why did you join?
So many reasons, but I actually, the week I joined, I had 3 people call me inviting me, and it just seemed like this is something I need to check out. This is such a great group of people who just contacted me, so I joined. I went, and I've been there ever since.
That's fantastic. Now, the Brattleboro Sunrise Rotary has 2 programs, 2 scholarship programs, right? The
Yes.
Sunrise Scholarships and the John Penfield Scholarships.
Correct.
Can you tell us about that?
Sure. Our mainstream scholarship, the Sunrise Foundation Scholarship, is for graduating seniors, adults returning to school, and the Penfield Scholarship was developed after our founding president, John Penfield, passed away, and we wanted to do something to honor him. So we peeled off a piece of the scholarship program and we designated it in John's name, and it goes to a graduating student from the Career Center who's furthering his career in the automotive industry, because
Wow.
John owned Brattleboro Tire in town.
Wow.
He was such a huge supporter of the club.
That's fantastic. So do you have any idea over time how many scholarships has Sunrise given out?
Number-wise, I'm not sure, because I didn't start doing the scholarships until, after a few years of being in the club, but the dollar amount is in excess of $213,000.
$213,000. Now, we learned earlier from John Mabie that the Brattleboro Rotary Club has given out close to $500,000. We're talking about almost $750,000 in scholarships from the local
I know,
Rotaries.
it's amazing.
That is just fantastic. Now, who's eligible for the Sunrise Rotary Club scholarships?
Okay, so that is, again, graduating seniors from Brattleboro Union High School, Hinsdale, and Leland and Gray. Again, we used to contribute to the Wilmington School, but when the Deerfield Valley came along, we stopped doing that too. And returning adult students. So we've sponsored a lot of people who've decided to have a career change and maybe go to nursing school through VCT, and we support them also. So we're a little different that way.
And so what's the criteria for applying for a scholarship at the Sunrise?
The foundation scholarship is, again, we look at community service, financial need, and all that. But the big difference between our club and the Noon Club is we decided to take the essay and we made it into a 4-way test. Wow. So they have to take a subject, any subject they want. It could be about anything personal to them or anything, out in the world, and they have to apply the 4-way test to their essay. They have to actually relate it to and mention the 4-way test and how this topic passes the 4-way test.
Wow, that's pretty innovative. I like that. Now, so what's the criteria for selection in that case? I mean, who looks it over? And
so we have a committee, and we have all the we probably get about 20 applications. And first and foremost, they have to answer the question of the essay. They have to address the 4-way test.
Okay.
So once they've done that, again, it's financial need, it's goals, it's community service, and we take into consideration past job experiences. So.
Wow,
yeah.
that's great. Now, so how do you go about raising the money for the scholarships?
It is completely funded through our 3-on-3 basketball tournament that we have in March.
The 3-on-3 basketball tournament. So that's a community event, and that's what raises the money each year.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's about $10,000 a year, and it's a fun, great day, and it gets all the basketball folks together from middle school to adults, and we have a lot of great donors and sponsors over the years. We've been doing that. This was our 22nd year doing it.
Wow, that is fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, did I mishear, or is there a foundation as well?
Yes. A few years ago, we took a page from the Noon Club's book because you really need to have a foundation. So we started the Brattleboro Sunrise Foundation.
Wow.
So all the proceeds go into that, so they are tax deductible. It's a 501c3. Yep.
All right. So, and if I wanted to, or someone in the public wanted to make a contribution to the Sunrise Foundation, they could do that as well.
Yes.
So we've got the 3-on-3 basketball and these outside donations.
Correct.
All right. Now, what if I want to apply for a scholarship? How do I go about doing that?
Okay, so the scholarship applications are on our website.
Ah, good.
Both of them, the foundation and the Penfield, and they are at all the local counseling offices at the high schools. And this year, actually, we got it in the VSAC book. So there's a listing in the VSAC if there's a big book that they put out every year for scholarships, and we got a listing in there this year, so people can contact us. Yeah.
Okay, the Noontime Club missed that one. Okay, that's,
Well,
that's one up on. Okay, congratulations. But it's all good because it's all going
Absolutely.
to help. To help do that. And the other thing would be when you hand them out, is it a secret like John said?
Yes.
Or?
Well, for the high school students, it is. They don't know until we get to the awards night who's going to get the scholarships. Only the high schools know that. With the adults, it's a little different, but we invite them to a meeting and we present them with a check at the meeting. So it's.
And so do members of the Rotary Club go out and present these
Yes.
at the graduations? Have you had the opportunity to do that?
Oh God, yeah. It's one of the best nights you could have.
So, what is that like?
It's a little nerve-wracking. I mean, you stand up in front of that stage in the auditorium at the high school with hundreds of people, but it's so gratifying.
Right.
These kids, like John said, they're surprised and they come up there and they are so touched. And I usually get a big hug from the kids, and it's a wonderful, wonderful evening. And I try to encourage as many members as possible to do it because it's a great experience.
Now, do you have any sense in terms of where the kids are going to college? Is it all over the place?
Oh,
then?
it is, absolutely. I mean, we've had a lot stay in-state. It's amazing how many, UVM, Castleton, Norwich scholarships we have given out, but it really is all over the map.
It's great. I mean, and what I really like is the fact that between the two clubs, we're really giving. I think it's probably the largest scholarship. If you add them both up.
Yeah,
for a
absolutely.
service organization, that we're doing pretty good. Not to tout our own horn, but what the heck. All right, last question that I have for you is, what's the best thing for you about being in Rotary?
I have to say it's all the wonderful people I get to meet. I mean, Rotary is just so diverse. Between the two clubs and all the district members that we get to meet, it's a great feeling just to get up every Wednesday morning and interact with these people and then work on service projects with them, like the 3-on-3 or giving out scholarships. You never know what you're going to be doing in Rotary, and it is just so fulfilling.
That is fantastic. Well, thank you so much for everything that you're doing, and thanks for your years of service. I also want to thank our guest, John Mabie, and a shout out to Sunrise Rotarian Kevin Yeager. He's doing all the magic behind the camera. Thanks also to BCTV and especially Roland Boyden for helping us bring this show to you. If you have any questions, concerns, or ideas for future topics, send them to info@BrattleboroRotaryClub.org. info@BrattleboroRotaryClub.org. I'm Marty Cohn. Thanks for watching.